Morning, everyone. It's Father's Day, 21st of June, 2026. I'm holding this up because I had a hankering for, I've been drinking my macadamia. It was Dutch Brothers macadamia chocolate coffee. I got it on Amazon. It was a good price, like $8, I want to say, $7.99. Anyway, I was drinking Jim's double chocolate coffee, which is great. And it reminds me of my ex-husband, like when I see it, because his name's Jim, and that's not a bad thing. I got to tell you this about Jim. He's actually, I think every woman, divorced woman, bitches about her ex-husband. What else are we going to do? But he's not a bad guy. We had our problems, of course we do, and when I don't see my son since February 22nd, yeah, I'm mad about it. And I didn't see him yesterday for my birthday, but whatever. Today I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it was 3:49 by the time I looked at my phone to see what time it was, because I was busy, I don't know, thinking about stuff, doing stuff on, oh gosh. Oh, I got so many things I want to talk about this morning. It's early. It's like 5:30 in the morning or something like that. But what made me get this one this morning is because I was thinking about my dad. I also sent my dad a text. Happy Father's Day. I said I miss him and whatever. What makes me think about this coffee for him is blueberry cobbler New England coffee. I like this one. I also got it on Amazon. I think. Oh yeah, they don't sell it in grocery stores. They only sell. I was looking to get Green Mountain coffee. Middlesex Savings in Bellingham, Massachusetts has. Oh, I got to do another post about them later. All right. Well, there's a guy there. His name is Lou. It's short for something Italian. He's from Italy. The manager there, Lou. Oh gosh, he's so wonderful. He's such a wonderful man. Middlesex Savings, I got something to bitch about for them later, but that branch, I always go there, even if it's not the closest one, because I love Lou. And there's another girl there, I think her name is Lori, also very nice. Another gal, even she works for or used to work for, she does the window at, she used to do, or does, like preschool or something like that. Just really nice people. There's a kid from Holliston, he's probably in his 30s, but he could be my kid at that age. But I'm 54. He's from Holliston, Massachusetts, and he grew up there and whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's a small world. Holliston, Bellingham, yeah, not that far away, but like when you just bump into people, I was working, one of the gals I was in the loony bin with, her name is Jeannie. She knew this person I was in real estate with. And I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to. Okay. So, but it was like, wow, you know that person, like just because of the name. Like I said the name and I'm like, I wonder if you know this person. And she did. She knew all about her. She even knew, like, she said, oh, and they're divorced, and when they got together, she wasn't nice to him, and she used to, whatever. She like, knew, like, a lot about her. There was this other gal I was in the loony bin with. I mentioned a kid I went to, again, not going to say names, because I don't, whatever. They were in the loony bin, and some of them are very nervous about why they were in the loony bin. And there was this guy I was crazy about when I worked at Big D in Worcester, Massachusetts, back in, when I was a teenager. And I was probably like 16 or 17. I was driving then, so I was at least 16 and a half. Or maybe it was the summer, so 17. Anyway, but this kid, his name is Chris. And I was so cuckoo for him. I thought he was so stinking cute. And I mentioned his name because she's from this town where he lived in, and they're about the same age, because her and I were both 50, or born in 72. So she was like, oh my gosh, his sister was my best friend in school. And I was like, what? Like, just such a small world. Like, and she knew this, whatever. It was just weird. Okay, so like, bring me back to, I guess this post is more for my dad than anything. Um, this reminds me of the Cape. I got this. Lou offered me coffee when I was at the Bellingham, Middlesex, whatever. Russell's like, he's hating this. I'm like, boop, boop, boop. Oh, he says not exactly. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Somebody. um, when I was there, Lou's like, get some coffee, and I did, and it was Green Mountain blueberry coffee, and I had to tell everybody who was waiting in line afterwards. I'm like, you got to try this coffee. It's amazing. You can't get the Green Mountain in ground like this. You can only get the Keurigs, and I don't like the Keurigs. I don't like running hot water through plastic. Like, so now I got plastic, like, leaching. I don't care if it's BPA free. It's plastic. Why are you putting hot water in plastic? Ew. It's going to have a little residue, no? But anyway, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm someplace and they have a Keurig, it tastes fine to me. I'm just saying, if I have my choice, I'm not going to run my coffee hot water through plastic. Okay, so, but why this reminds me of the Cape and my dad is because when we were kids, we used to go to the Cape all the time in the summer to go camping at Bourne Campground in Buzzards Bay. And when we were kids, we went there. We went with a pop-up, and my dad had a motorcycle. I feel like we couldn't have taken the motorcycle there, but somehow I associate my dad's, or just motorcycles, with camping. Maybe because when they had their RV and they take it up to Kennebunkport, they would attach the scooter there, and I would drive around with my dad. And him and my mom would take their dog Molly in between them and drive her around Kennebunkport on the scooter. Anyway, my dad and camping and stuff. I have a wonderful memory of my mom carrying me to the bathroom it was one of my favorite memories of her, us, her carrying me to the bathroom, because you have to, walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night, the campground. Just such a warm, safe feeling, and I can feel her, the cadence of her walk, and just the crunch. I hear the crunch of the gravel under her feet. Just such a nice memory of my mom. But my dad, I think of, like, even though maybe my mother did the cooking, I can't tell you who did the cooking, but I remember the green campfire stove, the propane stove, and cooking eggs on that. I can't tell you who cooked the eggs, whether it was my mom or my dad or our next door neighbor at the campground named Rudy. No idea. But that smell, the pop-up camper, the propane or butane, maybe, I can't remember, but something about cooking on that camp stove and the smell of, like, the butter and the eggs just reminds me of camping. And even though I don't recall going to a country store with my dad at the Cape, I still associate all of that stuff, because I'm pretty sure we must have gone to, I don't know, maybe I did go to country stores or general stores with my dad, but I feel like I did that when we went to my cousin Renee and Chris's Nana's house, Ruth, when we used to stay, me, my mom, and my brother with her, when my dad was stayed home and worked, like, I can't imagine my dad would have stayed at somebody's house. No, he was definitely never there. Anyway, just really nice memories of my dad and camping and general stores that smell like blueberry and candles and, I don't know, like, just doesn't smell anymore. I cleaned it out. Anyway, those nice kind of feelings of being a child and having a very nice, not nice, it was nice. Like, what are you going to say? Exciting? Well, it wasn't exciting. I was a child. What do I know what exciting is? We just lived when we were children, right? Like, you can't, when you're that little, like I was, like 5 or little, smaller, maybe 4, you don't know what's exciting. Somebody might say, oh, this is exciting, but is it? You you don't look at childhood like that. When I look back on it, I remember sounds, smells, feelings. And for me, exciting wasn't a feeling. I felt safe. And you don't know that back there, but I know the feeling. And how I felt this morning when I woke up is how I felt as a child, oddly enough, considering the whole battering ram incident and, whatever vigilantes like to torture me in here. But I did feel safe when I woke up this morning. I felt safe and happy and ready to start the day. I text my ex-husband, Happy Father's Day, Jim. I text my dad, Happy Father's Day, with a little note. Well, beyond that, I mean, Happy Father's Day is kind of trite. I say it to my ex-husband because he's still a good dad, and it's still Father's Day, and if we were together, I'd say, hey, Happy Father's Day, or if I talked to him, I'd say, you know what I mean? Anyway. I mean, especially when our kids are young, too, right? And dads, they work. The dads go to work, the moms stay at home, and we become attached to our mothers, right? Because they're our source of comfort when we're little. We don't look at being protected by our dads as a thing. The dad may protect the household and he may provide, but the moms give comfort. So it was our parents' responsibility, or our mom's responsibility, her duty to, I don't even know what her duty was as far as the dad goes. I guess it was the dad's duty to just be there and play with us and take us on the motorcycle. And, well, maybe not duty, maybe it was my dad's pleasure to take me on the motorcycle. When I was 5, I can remember sitting on his big white full dress Harley Davidson, the kind that I was just telling somebody about this yesterday. Oh, I went to look for a truck. I went to Bernardi Toyota in Framingham, based on the recommendation of my Uber driver. His name was Jeffrey, and he was a Haitian guy. Oh gosh, we talked about all sorts of stuff, he and I. I was with him from Northbridge to Westboro. I went to that Middlesex Savings Bank to do I was going to do, because it was on my way to where I was going to go car shopping, and because my car is still at the impound, but whatever. My whatever, what do you call it? Credit is in the toilet. So I got to pay cash or get my car back from the impound or whatever. I did see a truck, Ellen at Bernardi Toyota. Oh my gosh, is she a great gal? Oh, I spoke to her daughter in service. Her name's Evelyn. Just really nice ladies. Just, I felt so comfortable there and safe. I say safe because I haven't been among people in a while, and quite honestly, unless you're a foreigner or a black man, I don't feel comfortable around you. I don't. I feel like you're judging me, right? I get that edgy, like, dumb American feel to you. Like you like you don't have hardship, so if I have a hardship, I must deserve it. But immigrants, people from, God, who was I talking to? Was it the Haitian guy? Yeah, I guess it was Jeffrey, the Haitian guy, was saying just how horrible it is in Haiti, the corruption. But he's like, oh, I know, if the cops pull you over, you give them your ID. Don't mess with that. Give them your ID. And I said, well, as a black man, he's like, that's right. But, like, unless you're a black man or an immigrant, I'm sorry, a recent immigrant, this whole, like, don't let people in. They're not, they're not from here. They didn't get here the right way, the right channel, the right, like when I am all over the place today. It's because it's so early and I've been up since 3. But when people came here, right? So the natives, my people, Narragansett and French Canadian, Algonquin, my people were here, right? And then Mayflower folks came over and was like, we have flags, we have contracts. If you don't do it our way, get off of now our land. We're putting a flag here. We're naming it our. Like, that's what they did right here. Staking a claim, putting a flag right here. That's how they do. They set up surveying and boundaries around our land. They put flags everywhere. There's flags all over the place, effing up the scenery, breaking my mind, do this, don't do that, can't you read the signs? And flags. So that's what people are doing. The Europeans are like, well, this is how we do things. Hey, they didn't like what I did over in Europe. We're going to go over there and take over your land so we can be the dominant ones, right? The people in Europe are like, oh, freaking Christ, thank God they're gone. Right? I know, sorry. I'm sorry. The Christ thing, Jesus Christ, he ain't here anymore. That's not a thing. 2,000 years ago. I ain't worshiping a guy from 2,000 years ago. And if I say Christ, who cares? It's just a word, right? I was raised not to say that. No, not to say, oh my God, Jesus Christ. But now, I mean, I still don't say that because it's not my habit. But I don't know. It's not my habit to swear either. But when it comes out, it comes out. Whatever. You can't control these things sometimes. So yeah, as far as like the ailing goes and anybody on TV saying like, we're going to get the immigrants and keep them out and they're not allowed in our country unless they come here through the proper ways. What, go through your old world Masonic system? That thing? Russell's on his video talking about that, saying, whatever they built was trash. He wasn't talking about their actual buildings, right? Not these structures. That's not what he was talking about. He's talking about building the system, their Masonic system. The one that Horton talks about in that video, War Castles, this old world Masonic system, 8,500 years old, that David Wynn Miller, David-Wynn Miller, cracked the code on in 1988. The language barrier for all 5,000 languages on planet Earth. David Wynn Miller cracked the code, and excuse me if I don't always use punctuation for his name. I'm not teaching anyone a lesson or whatever as far as the punctuation goes and punctuating a name. I honor David Wynn Miller. He's never done anything to me. I don't have any closure on him doing anything other than what Russell has said in videos about spinning people up in a negative way. And I'm sure he's done that. Something he said in a video kind of spun me up a little bit and gave me a little more authority than I really had at the very beginning when I didn't comprehend everything. But maybe I got myself into trouble doing it. Maybe I didn't. But what I do know is I learned a crap ton from David Wynn Miller. And if I want to punctuate his name to honor him at times, I'm going to do it. Because, again, like Kenny Rogers, I always go back to him. But when I was younger and people are like, he beats his wife. So? I mean, whatever. First of all, hearsay. Second of all, he still sings good. I don't care what he does in his personal life. He's not a friend of mine. He's a guy on TV. He's a guy on the radio. He's a guy on my 8-track tape that my mom has and lets me play in our hi-fi, right? I don't care about Kenny Rogers' personal life. Oh my God, speaking of personal, Russell's bringing to my mind when I was in the loony bin, and I'll talk about it in the case sometime. You guys are like, talk about the darn court case. We want to hear what happened in court. Russell says not to go to court, and you went to court. I know, and I ruled the courtroom. Finesse my ass. I ruled it, baby. I was just waiting to, like, I don't know, make the judge feel like an idiot. And don't worry, he got in his zinger at the end. I told you last time when he says, Miss Di-Giorno is in need of serious mental help or whatever he said. I wish I had that whole recording for that 5 hours. It was so fun. My only point is, in the court proceedings, or whatever you want to call them, the hearing, the trial, the doctor had said, the doctor's counsel asked me. She said, you talk a lot in your videos, and the doctor admitted he watched dozens and dozens of them. Dozens and dozens. Okay, so dozens, that's going to be at least 2, right? So we're up to 24 videos, and dozens. That's another 24. So this doctor said on stage, on camera, in court, that he's watched at least 48 videos of mine. 48 videos! And you guys know my videos run sometimes 45 minutes long. He's watched 48 videos, and he knew I had 994 videos on there, which it wasn't true. I had 992 last time I checked, but maybe they deleted a couple videos. But he's watched 48 videos. He said on the stand, and he's not a perjurer. You can go to jail for that, or do a fine or something. Probably jail, but anyway. He said he watched 48 videos in his testimony, and I have at least, this one's already 20 minutes long, right? That many videos. Am I that spellbinding? Yes! Wow, I didn't know. Well, whatever gifts I have, my Creator gave them to me. My Creator is J, Russell-J, Gould. He created me to be this interesting, this smart, this entertaining, because he pops things into my head. He gives me this delivery. He even controls how I deliver the message to you, like how I choose to use my hands, how I choose to use my facial expressions. This is all his, because we're all connected in the spirit, right? Through the collective in our minds, we share ideas through him, right? He spreads everything out among us. This is what I've been wanting to talk about. I thought this was just going to be about my dad, but maybe it's all dads, right? But specifically Russell, Father Earth. This segment is going to be about that. And I know I am hopping all over the place. I got to start taking notes. I need a whiteboard right here, and just to write things so I can come back to them and remember. Or maybe he'll just pop it into my mind. After I'm done with the video, I was like, oh, I wanted to talk about that. Can I edit it in there? But then it would ruin the whole, swing of things. So people think that Russell's God or whatever. And if you want to use that word, knock yourself out. I use it to him sometimes, but mostly just about his whole look, well, the the stuff that makes me all stupid. That's the God stuff. Hang on. Back on track. Damn it. This is what happens. What was I saying? Darn it. Let me smell Hot Man Russell. Okay. All right. So the hotness. Yes, I mean physically. but darn it. I keep doing that. Back on track. Hold on. Okay. So the smell, while it is Hot Russell Man in this thing, let's advertise this for everybody. This is what I imagine Russell's going to smell like when I'm up close and personal. If I'm up, hey, I don't know. I don't have closure on that. All I'm saying is, if I ever get a chance to work with him in the flesh, I think he's going to smell like that. And if he doesn't, I'm going to anoint him with oils / this scrub so that he smells like this, so that when I sit next to him, I do this. Okay, so the Father, we're all one in the Spirit. You guys saw that last video. If you didn't, watch it. I mean, maybe you're going to get it, maybe you're not. Clearly, he's way over our heads as far as what he talks about. I love that he is not dumbed down this video. I mean, I'm sure he has a bit, but he didn't dumb it down as far as I could see. He was just talking. He talked slower so that we could, comprehend and follow along. And I paused it a few times just to run through. Okay, what does he really mean by that? When he talked about, the Masons and building trash, just the system. Well, not just, but that's what he's referring to is what they're building. Their shipbuilding, the vessels, the people, what with their brainwashing, with the frequencies and harmonics, ruining our brains and causing these performances of us over years and years and years. I imagine from the 50s with these harmonics too. shape our behaviors, right? So they've shaped our behaviors through the frequencies and through the vaccines, um, simultaneously, or in conjunction rather. And now these behaviors, even though the frequencies aren't influencing us anymore, there's still, what remains is our behavior, our habits. I mean, you are who you are from 8 to 80. You can't, it takes a lot to change your behavior. Like hardships certainly can change your behavior. I know this because when I was in the loony bin, there was this woman who was trying to talk to me. And back in the day, I'm kind of a nice gal. If somebody's talking to me, like even when Lucky was here, when Joe, he was telling me so, or I was telling him a story, and he said, "Oh, you already told me that." And I said, I said, "Hun, that's not very nice. Like, so hear it again. Maybe you'll listen to something new. It just doesn't make the other person feel good when you're telling them something and they're like, yeah, I already heard that." Like, well, so hear it again. However, when somebody's trying to talk to you, right, and they're in your space and you don't want to talk to them, this is what I did in the, ow! This is what I did in the loony bin. This woman was trying to talk to me. I was in the middle of a bazillion things. I'm in the loony bin. I got problems of my own. I don't need to hear her problems. Like, not at that moment. In the past, I always would stop and listen to the problem. And great, now I'm sucked into your problem. Forget about my own. Like, now I got to take on your burden. So I'm not doing that anymore. She started to talk to me, and I said, "Look, hon, I'm in the middle of my own crisis right now. I got to deal with this." She's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Sorry, some other time." And I just walked away. She didn't really think it was rude. She was like, "Oh, yeah, all right, sorry." I mean, maybe she thought it was rude, but I'm in the middle of my own stuff. Not only that, even if I wasn't in a crisis and she started blah, blah, blah about her, whatever, and she's trying to give me advice on something too, and she was trying to, like, I was telling her about not seeing my son since February 22nd, and she was like, "Well, all right, this is what we're going to do." I'm like, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Hold on." I said, "Don't worry. I'm handling this on my own. We're not a team here." And that was kind of rude. I think she thought it was rude, but I am certainly not going to have some stranger helping me and placing calls on my behalf. And I mean, if you guys want to do that, cool, but like not with me. Like, okay, now do this, Deb. Don't try to control my space. Not only that, oh my gosh, now I remember why this came out. It kind of came out of my ass sideways with her. She was saying that in her apartment building, she called the police or DCF or something on a neighbor, a woman, who she said she worked nights and something was with her kids and she was abusing them. And I was like, at that point, I'm like, "You fucking bitch. How dare you make assumptions about this woman and her children? How dare you? What do you know about that woman and her children? Like, what do you know other than what she puts out on social media like I do? Or, unless you're with them and you see them, and even then, fucking mind your own business. Get your own fucking life. Like, seriously. God damn it. These fucking people. And that goes for all of you out there too. If you're watching, I know I only have like one subscriber right now, but people who are watching now or watching my old videos, if my life is so fascinating to you that you need to judge it, get your own. Get your own life. Like, seriously. Are you that boring that you got to look at mine and judge me? Get your own life. Like, seriously, get your own life. Maybe that's your problem. You don't have one. So you're trying to steal mine? By like, okay, I'm going to control her life because it feels like mine now. I've been with her so long and so long. Some of you have just been around since February or December or whenever I started doing these videos. I mean, I started them when I was in Arizona, but only in real concentration over the last, 4 or 5 months. So You people, these Johnny-come-latelys who are here and like, oh, we know you. We've met you. We've seen you. We've talked to you. We've, known you your whole life. We know your video. Like, what do you know? What do you know about me? Other than what people talk about and what you see, I say here. You don't know me. You see this version of me. This is my social media persona. This is the face, the wig, the glasses, this thing I put on when I talk to you. And I have an agenda when I'm here. Whatever that agenda is whatever I decide for that day. So for you to take my agenda, my content, my material, my closure, my knowledge, and apply it to your own life, or put your own life spin on it, like, well, this is where I'm coming from, right? And Anais Nin said, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. So when you look at my content, or you hear it, you view it, you take it in, you're applying it based on your own experience, your own wisdom, your own trials, tribulations, joys, wins, losses, griefs, loves, all that. You're taking all of what you have with life, with my little sprinkled spin on spin, and you're letting what I say spin up your own emotions and triggers and things like that. Look, if what I say triggers you, if the sight of me triggers you, don't look at me. Don't listen to me. That's it. Oh, I don't want to leave it on that. I'm like, that felt like an ending, but I don't want, this is like a Father's Day post. I don't want to say that. Maybe instead of like watching me, like if I trigger you, then don't watch me, right? Don't watch me. Don't try to look for ways you can judge me more and, okay, yeah, see, she said it finally. That's the reason why they did the battering ram on her door and why she needs to be killed, because she said this and she acts like this and she honestly. Okay, so this whole thing Russell's doing today. Oh, that's what I was in a good mood about this morning. Okay. Well, I mean, I was in a good mood about all sorts of stuff. But today is the summer solstice. And that video that Russell put out on Russell-J. Gould channel on YouTube, he talks about burning the this big contract, big stack of papers with that dorsal, that red, calls it a dorsal, the altar. That's what it is. The dorsal is the altar. And he's going to burn that today. And I don't know what that means, except that maybe burning it will make it so. Hang on a second. Does burning it make it so? No. Does burning it, I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I don't want to pick at that because it's beautiful. And even if it's racked with symbolism, but actually has function, I don't want to pick at that one. I think it's beautiful and perfect. And some things like the Ark of the Covenant, I don't know. I like it steady. What I did like to do today is take the whole, Christian God thing and just kind of like, let's just put that on the shelf for me. This is my channel and this is what I'm doing. If you come here, this is what I'm doing with the whole God, the Christian God thing. Putting that on the shelf. I reference it from time to time. Well, that's how I was raised, right? That's how I was raised. I'm 54. You're not going to like change behaviors and thought patterns overnight. But what I do like to do now is I love that Russell is one of us, right? He just happens to be crazy hot. I mean, but that's not what makes him one of us, because he's super hot. What is he? Super smart. Oh, God. There I go again. Hang on. Okay. Like, it's the wisdom. Like, the wisdom, the side, like, the contracts. I'm like, wrecking this. This is my problem with Russell. With him being father. A guy who I'm thinking dirty thoughts about can't be father of the earth because I'm thinking dirty thoughts about him. And I'm 54. Who thought you could think about God dirty thoughts? On the other hand, why shouldn't we worship him? And the only way I know to worship a man like Russell is to think dirty thoughts about him. Hey, he can read my mind, and I want him to hear me thinking dirty thoughts about him, servicing him. As Father Earth, he has done things for me. I don't care about you guys. He's done things for me that makes him very worthy of me giving him my everything. If he wants me to service him in my mind every day, twice a day, he lets me know when he does, don't worry. If he wants me to twice a day, every day, that's what I'm going to do. And he guides me in what he wants me to think about. I'm sorry, but he needs help. He needs help because he sacrificed a lot down here for us. The things that they forced on him when he was in the hole, unspeakable things. Okay, fine, I'll say it. I'm going to say it because, hell, people who, they used the battering ram on the door, fine. They used the battering ram on the door. You probably deserved it, Deb. And heck, I probably did. I probably should have just opened the door. So when Russell was in the hole and they would arouse him, well, you know what? Guys need to clean those pipes every once in a while. It builds up. The feeling is very intense. It drives a person mad, like literally mad. When he showed me what that feels like, that chakra that down there, that primal, I don't know if it's a chakra, but it is certainly primal, whatever's going on down there. I don't understand that. I'm not even thinking clear right now because he's making it happen right now. You don't think clearly, you think animalistically, primally. I am going to do whatever I have to do to make that feeling go away because it's driving me mad. So what they did to Russell is they kept arousing him to the, just enough to make him mad, make him crazy, sodomizing him, doing what they could to make him erect, hard. Okay, he needs to reach bliss to get past this. So what they did when he was at that point, and I don't know how many times, don't have closure on that. I got to imagine it was more than once, but this one time he did bring in they brought in a 9-year-old girl to satisfy him. And he did satisfy himself with her, and I don't know. I don't have closure on if they held her there or he just lost his mind and did it anyway because he was that crazed that he needed to be satisfied, and the only way he could do that was with a warm hole, and it killed her. It killed her because a man ramming his penis into a young girl can and does kill her. He's still giving me this feeling right now in between my legs to let me know this is what guys go through, what men go through. Sorry, not guys, men. boys. I don't know how early it starts. But what men, and especially with the blood feud, when you drink the blood, or I guess they snort the blood, when they put blood up his nose, it makes that feeling in between their legs excruciating. If you haven't been in the blood feud, if you haven't snorted the blood, drank the blood, whatever the case, however that works, you can't know what it's like to have that drug in your system, the adrenochrome, and need it more. To feed, and by feed I mean sex. The men need to be primally fed in order to satisfy that feeling that the adrenochrome has caused. And it quite turns a man into a primate. There's no thinking involved. There's no feeling, emotional feeling involved when you're a primate. You become a predator. And you will prey on anything, even if it's a 9-year-old girl, to make that feeling go away. You're not thinking, wow, this is a little girl, I'm going to hurt her. Not thinking that. Women can't understand this because women don't feel that. Women want the connection. In Harry Met Sally, how long do you like to be held? All night, right? All night. It's not like that for men, especially not men who have been subject to the blood feud with the adrenochrome, who have got that in their systems now, and that's part of who they are. I got to imagine it's not just Russell, they've done it too. In their secret societies. They've done it to other, I don't know, all the cops. Do they stick blood, adrenochrome blood, up a guy's nose so that he is now that horned up primal that he needs sex? And if he can't get it from a wife, girlfriend, fuck buddy, then he's going to get it from where? His daughter, his son, can he just satisfy himself? I don't know. When it's that case, and the men and everybody's been vaccinated so that it doesn't work, but they still have that feeling, that urge, or they do. I don't know if, Russell, I know, has trouble because it was cut off. There's only a quarter there left. So can you really satisfy yourself with only a quarter there? Can he milk his own prostate? I don't know. Don't have closure on any of these things. Did they have his arms bound when they put her on his penis? I don't know. Did they do it, and then once they started her there, then they released his arms so that he could do it the rest himself, so that they forced him into a performance already at that animal stage. Can you imagine anything more excruciating, men out there? Can you imagine anything? Imagine your arms, your hands bound behind your back, cops out there, how they do, Put your hands behind your backs. Maybe they initiate the cops like this too. Put the hands behind your back. Arouse you, putting a naked girl in front of you. Force her onto your penis. Push her up and down on your penis so that you are so aroused you can't even see straight. And she's scared and crying, and that arouses you more because you have depleted testosterone. But seeing somebody cry or scream or get mad or whatever, that makes it hotter for you because forbidden sex is hot. That's why people have affairs with married men and women. It's hot. Forbidden sex is hot. It just is. Primal. Hot. Forbidden. Can you imagine? And then they release their handcuffs. So what do? You're in a primal state. You have a young girl on your penis, and it's hard, and you want to have that, reach that bliss so bad. Do you really stop your primal urge at that point, your primal need at that point, and take her off of your penis? Or do you just lay into her so fast and so hard that it kills her? I got to imagine any man would do that. Any man. So I'm here to tell the story. That's what this video is about today. I didn't know it until now. But I'm here to tell the story about Russell had to sacrifice. I don't even know what you call that for a sacrifice. Because women, they'd hear this and they'd say, well, he had a choice. You know, he could have not had sex with her at that point. I mean, he could have just taken her off his penis. Like with me opening the door. Like you could have just opening the door. Could I? Okay, for women, I was so paralyzed by fear. I just stood there because, I'm sorry, I feel like such a heel right now because I'm like equating them pounding the door down and me being scared and taken to the loony bin to Russell being so primally driven by his need, by the man primal sex need, that he killed a girl, a young girl. I can't even believe that I'm putting that in the same thought process. But this is where you know what? As women, this is the best I can do. It's the only thing I can say that even comes close to what Russell did, had to go through, went through. Well, I say had to because they set it up to make him do this, to make him part of the blood feud, to make him see what men go through or know and make it absolutely so horrible for him. I mean, were they horrified when the girl died? When she was killed? Of course. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be?